What's going on, traders? Welcome to another weekly Forex forecast. Let me know in the comments down below what pairs you're watching this week and where you think the markets are headed. We're going to break it down in this video, so stay tuned and hit that subscribe button if you want to learn more about supply and demand trading. Alright, starting off with the US dollar. The past week, the bank's call report shows that they added 1,200 longs and actually added 1,700 shorts as well. And as you can see on the chart here, this daily supply, which was responsible for holding up price right here, has been removed on the daily time frame, and that daily zone is actually located inside of this weekly area of supply right here. So we could see something like this where we get more basing and we get a shoot up, and then I would expect the US dollar to probably go to the 96, 97 area, but it could end up just failing after all. But we'll have to see. The call reports aren't really showing us much, even though they are kind of turning bullish on the US dollar. We're just going to have to keep an eye out for that, but be very cautious buying the US dollar right now. Okay, looking at EURUSD, the call reports show that the banks got rid of 3,700 shorts the past week, which is kind of telling, I guess. Just like the opposite of the US dollar, we are in this weekly area of demand right here. So, be very careful shorting the euro US dollar right now. But we are reacting off of a monthly area of supply. So technically shorts are the better option right now. Somebody in the Discord group, check out the Discord group, by the way, too. It's free. Links in the description. Somebody brought up this daily area of supply. I said I didn't like it. I was more interested in going long. But if we can get a nice push up here, not looking at this trend line, I like this area on the daily time frame to look for. I would basically look for a 1 hour momentum shift. And if you don't know what I mean, it's a supply and demand confirmation entry. Check that out. I have a video about that. It's called Confirmation Trading 101 or something like that. So basically I would look for the 1 hour setup into there to ride to the downside. We'll just have to wait for that to happen, but as of now, you could still be looking for 4 hour confirmation in this weekly area of demand. It's not a bad idea. I think some of the Patreon members that are tracking all the zones with me, they might be looking for a confirmation in there, which would basically look like something like this. Both these zones are moved. Hopefully get this trend line removed as well. And if something like this does happen on the euro, where we get both these zones removed and the trend line, I'm probably going to be interested in buying that. And then my final targets would have to be this daily area of supply right here, where I would probably start to look for short positions as well. All right, looking at Aussie US dollar. The past week, the call reports show that they added 1,100 longs, but they actually added 2,800 short positions on the Aussie dollar. Looking at the daily time frame here, we are in a downtrend, but we are reacting off of this daily area of demand. But as you can see, we've been here many times, 1, 2, 3, 4 times now. So I do very much expect this to break. I'd kind of be interested in shorting, but the only problem is we are in the weekly demand is still in control. This weekly trend line has now been shifted to the downside, so we are sideways on the weekly, but in order for me to go short, I'd have to see a break of that. And you know what, I'm not really interested in going long either, to be quite honest. All the time frames are kind of out of sequence right now, so if anything, I guess I'd be trying to short. I just would want to see this daily area of demand be removed, and then whatever zone breaks this zone would probably be a pretty strong zone, because I think banks are knowing that this is a support and resistance area, so I'd keep an eye out for that. Okay, looking at GBPUSD, the call reports show that they got rid of 3,000 longs and actually added 3,000 shorts as well, which kind of fits the narrative that I'm looking at too. It's pretty obvious they've clearly been getting rid of their longs for quite a while now. For a couple weeks now for sure. So looking at the chart, I brought up to the Patreon members, the tier 2 members, that the British pound is in a downtrend very clearly. We have 2 demand zones being removed, trend line, the ability to draw the trend line. So I am looking for shorts right now. I don't really like this area because it's so close to this trend line, but I will be looking for a 1 hour momentum shift in this area, but it's going to have to be a very quality 1 hour momentum shift. So right now we have these, this is the this is the 4 hour, my bad. So we're looking at the 1 hour right now. I would basically have to see, you know, some sort of trend line be removed and multiple zones be removed for me to look to go short. And if price doesn't come up, if price does not come up to this daily area of supply, or if I miss it, it starts trending down again, basically the exact thing I'm looking for is I'm waiting for this 4 hour trend to continue to the downside. So I'd want to see this zone be removed, and then I could start looking for trades on the 1 hour or the 4 hour to the downside, just zones that removed other zones. So basically, whatever zone removed this zone, I'd be interested in shorting that zone. All right, on to USDJPY. The past week that shows that they added 15,000 longs and 1,000 shorts. So looking pretty bullish on the yen, and the chart is showing it. So this is the weekly time frame, and the reason I'm on the weekly time frame is I'm showing you my target. If I can get in long, my target is 110.596 before this tested area of weekly supply up here. We are in a little bit of a flip zone right here on the daily time frame. As you can see, this flip zone has been holding up price. We are reacting off of it right now. So for me to get in long, I want to see this flip zone on the daily time frame be removed first. We would have daily demand down here. But as for now, the 4 hour and the 1 hour are both trending. So I really like this chart right now. What I'm hoping is, like, I'm not going to buy this area down here because it's too much of a support and resistance area. I'm not interested in that. But if price does push up to here, creates a new sort of like a demand area right here like that, I'd be very interested in you know, buying some sort of pullback into that area on the 4 hour. I could also look on the 1 hour as well. The 1 hour is also trending. So as far as the USD yen goes, a lot of upside potential here if you can get in on a smaller time frame. A lot of risk reward here. So this is one of the pairs that I am keeping an eye on right now, the yen and the British pound. So just kind of waiting to see what happens around this daily area of supply. Clearly we are reacting off of it already. I'm just going to have to see what happens here. All right, on to USDCAD. The past week, they added 1,000 longs and they got rid of 4,000 shorts. And, you know, the daily time frame is still on a downtrend, so I definitely wouldn't be buying the US dollar CAD right now on the lower time frames. You could look for confirmation in that daily area of supply. I just don't like how it lines up with that trend line very nicely. Not a fan of that at all. But if you can get a short entry, I think shorting is definitely the better option right now. Basically, what I'm hoping for to happen on the CAD is for this 4 hour trend to continue. Right here on the 4 hour, we have a very significant demand zone that I want to see removed. I basically want to see that removed, maybe the ability to draw a trend line, which would make the 4 hour in a downtrend, and then I would start to short 1 hour pullbacks on the USD CAD. Just as of now, I'm not interested in trading this pair until that happens. So I want to see that 4 hour demand be removed before even going short. As far as going long, I personally wouldn't be going long on this pair right now based on the fact that the daily time frame is in a downtrend. All right, on to US dollar Swiss. The past week they added 960 longs and they got rid of 839 shorts. Looking at the weekly chart here, we are in weekly supply, so I wouldn't be buying the US dollar Swiss right now, just like I wouldn't be buying any US dollar pairs except for the yen. The yen looks a little bit different. But we are in this area of supply. On the daily time frame, though, we are going to have some bumps in the road. So, you know, as far as this chart goes, basically what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a 4 hour confirmation on this pair. So this is the 4 hour chart right here. So basically I would need to see both these zones be removed before looking to go short. I guess you could probably draw a trend line here as well, like this. And this is what you get for being a Patreon member. You would get all my trend lines and zones. So check that out. Link is in the description. But if you do sign up, I would wait for the new month because Patreon does charge you up front. So basically it would be something like that. I'd want to see that trend line be removed before going long or before going short at all. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't be buying this pullback right now based on the fact that we are in this higher time frame area of supply. All right, on to gold XAUUSD. The past week, the banks added 6,000 longs and they actually added 12,000 shorts. So it's pretty telling. As you can see on the daily time frame here, we're having a lot of reaction off of this trend line. So the banks are either planning a move. They're either going to respect this trend line and push it down or push up. I personally think, I really don't even know. I think that we are going to see a push up higher, which would create demand right here at this trend line. So I'd watch out for that. Right now, I'm not interested in trading gold at all. I'd want to see what happens on this trend line. If this trend line breaks to the upside, I expect gold to go higher. If this trend line holds and breaks this demand zone, then I expect gold to go lower. We're not going to be guessing. We're going to be waiting to see what they do first. So I'd be very cautious trading gold right now. We don't really know what's going on, and on the smaller time frames like the 4-hour chart, like it's so choppy and messy. Like look at these wicks. I don't have this zone removed yet because these wicks are just crazy. So if we do get that price push higher, this supply would be removed, maybe get a buying opportunity into here. But as for gold, I'm just not interested in trading it right now. All right, looking at oil, the call reports show that they added 2,500 longs and they added 4,000 shorts as well. As you can see, we are reacting off of this very fresh weekly area of supply right here. So basically, I am looking for confirmation to the short to the downside here. And what I found was this very nice area of daily supply right up here. So what I'm waiting for, this is one of the pairs on my watch. It's not really a pair, but this is on my watch list. I'm waiting for price to come up here, and I'm going to be looking for a 1-hour momentum shift to the downside. There's a lot of risk reward here. My final targets, if I do get in short for oil, would definitely be like $54 down here. So a lot of room to the downside if we can get that push up. Yeah, I'm waiting for the push higher, and I like this zone because it removed this trend line and it removed 2 zones. So that's a very strong zone in my opinion. And I want to refine my entry on the 1-hour because then my risk reward would be very higher. So oil is definitely one I'm watching. I'm not buying oil right now. I'm just waiting for price to push up to this daily area of supply. Alright everyone, thanks again for watching this week's Forex forecast. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button as well if you don't mind. I really appreciate all the support. Let me know in the comments down below what pairs you're looking at this week, and maybe we can get in touch and you can send me a chart and let me know what you're looking at. I always like looking at charts. So with that being said, let's have a great trading week and let's make some money. Cheers.